Hey, good Sunday morning, everybody. How you doing on this fine, beautiful day? I'm Manny Vitale, host of My Fight Our War and co-host of my brother's Keeper Bikers podcast with my brother Thomas Vestergaard, all the way from Denmark. And I'm just getting my day rolling here, like I said, here in Detroit, Michigan, where we are dealing with some more heat and humidity, but it's all good, right? I mean, the best thing, no better way to start the day than opening your eyes, right? So life is good. Now the rest of the day's up to me. Um, the easy part is, let's see, what do I do? I've always said many times, don't ever let the day or don't ever let other people's negative words or actions affect your day, how you're going to act. We did that in our past when we let outside forces control what we did, how we did it, when we did it. And that's, of course, dealing with addiction. Now we're in charge. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my butt moving here. I figured jump on here real quick, do a live. And after that, off to the gym. Get a good workout in, get some breakfast, go to church, then head down to Father Slavis Casey Center and just enjoy this absolutely beautiful day that I've been blessed with. And I hope you guys do as well. Other than that, um, like I said, man, I don't, wherever you guys are, this heat has been kicking our butts, and it does. Like I said, I'm here in Detroit, Michigan, but looking at the maps and the weather, we're dealing with this throughout the United States, man, and it's something. And for those of you who follow me, know that I work at Wolverine Harley Davidson, and it's a beautiful dealership, gorgeous dealership. And I'm not just saying it because I work there; it is. And everywhere in there is air conditioned. Well, that's not exactly true. Not everywhere. The only place that's not air conditioned is where I work, our department. And that's because we've got bikes coming and going all day. So we obviously have the doors open. But yeah, it was quite the week, and it's supposed to hang in there for the next week as well. But it's okay. But I hope you guys are having had a great week last week, and having a great weekend and doing your thing. We are, getting a lot of stuff in order here. I know I've been saying that a lot, and really, um, there really hasn't been a whole lot of action behind the words, and that's just because just trying to get things situated as far as doing multiple shows, and not only doing multiple shows, but you're doing now actually going to different locations, which I absolutely love doing. And I mean, it's great doing these. I love popping on here because I mean, that's not bullshit, man. You talk about easy and convenient. I mean, I am very blessed that for a studio, I basically get up, get out of bed, walk past the living room, the dining room, open up the door, which is now the studio. And I mean, you can't get much easier than that. So, yeah, I mean, obviously I love doing that, but doing in person interviews and shows is what we do in our studio in Connecticut. And I remember the first time I did it, a little bit nerve wracking, first just like first time with anything. But even though we're doing this when I have the people come on that share their stories on Mondays, I mean, I see them just like you see me, and just like when you're FaceTiming or anything like that. And when when we do ours, it's all live. But just something about being there in the room with the person, the you know, yeah, I'm sure that you guys can see it when you see our shows that we do, that we drop on every Sunday night in Connecticut. And that's with the incredible work of our producer, Matt Cronin, and which I can't thank Matt enough for all of his hard work. Um, he he has kept me focused. He's kept me grounded. Um, and even before that, a huge thank you to my brother Ian Bick for the opportunity that I got. And it's still hard to believe that it was about a year. Actually, it was July 4th of last year is when we first flew out to Connecticut to meet. Um, Look at that. OG's in the house. Well, actually, she's not. She's not in studio. She is at the gym. And that's where I'm going to be going as soon as I finish up with this. So she's just getting all the machines and the weights, everything warmed up for me. Actually, she probably lifts heavier than I do nowadays. But July 4th of last year is when I had the opportunity to be a guest on Locked In with Ian Bick. And of course, I knew all about Ian from seeing his work, from talking to other people who have been guests on the show, from talking to other hosts of other shows as well. Because, like I said, this is literally when I first started this whole incredible journey. And what a blessing it's turned out to be. And it just goes to show you, don't ever take anything for granted that you might think is just, you know what, it is what it is. It's not a big deal. I mean, we all have things happen in our lives that um, obviously some are a lot more intense than others. You may have a huge meeting at work that's involving the outcome could be a promotion. It could be you getting your ass fired. Who knows? But for one thing, I'm learning in this crazy life ever since I can see clearly now with clear mind and eyes, and you know, is not to take shit for granted because these opportunities, um, which may seem not like a whole lot at the moment, could be life changing. And I'm sorry, man, I'm losing my voice again. See, every time it gets close for me to have to go to New York and Connecticut, it's crazy. But anyways, um, back to Ian and this whole opportunity. I decided, through um, watching his shows, seeing, how his format is. Um, it was something that I definitely thought there'd be a good opportunity for me on a couple different levels. For me, as to share my story, just like all of you do when you come on Mondays, just like you do when you come on our show in our studio in New York, is to help get my story out there and to share it with everyone as well. But it was twofold because also at this time is when I was making that decision to start doing this stuff, you know, jumping into the whole social media world of the podcast world. And it just goes to show you that things happen for a reason. And that interview, that encounter, that meeting pretty much changed my life, man. And with that, I didn't even know it, didn't plan on it going in the direction it did. Because when I got there, it was originally planned to be just the interview and, get the opportunity to meet Ian, um, share my story, and then head back to Detroit, Michigan. Well, needless to say, a lot more happened. During the, actually, it was right before the interview. We're sitting in studio and we're just talking, because that's the first time we talked a few times on the phone prior to going to New York, and just get a little background, just a little chit chat. So when we get there, we're just sitting there talking, and we probably talked a good at least a half hour or so before we even started doing the show. And within that time, it was uh, it was really neat, man, because it was. I mean, obviously, for those of you in the podcast world, know who Ian Bick is. I mean, he has definitely busted his ass, and deservingly so, to get to where he is at. So for me to have the opportunity to even be there was huge for me. But as we were talking, um, like I said, the nerves were a little on edge, but all of a sudden it was just like, just chit chatting with someone I've known for a long time. There was no uneasiness. There was no ever awkward silence, nothing like that. In fact, it was just the opposite because as we were talking, I was, talking about me doing My Fight or War, the studio here, just the onset, just the very beginning of what I was doing. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he's like, "You know what? I'd like to come to Detroit and be on your show." You talk about being blown away. To which I was like, "Oh, hell yeah." And then he's like, "You know what? We could hang out there, instead of just doing the show, actually come in, see Detroit, do some remotes and all that," which is actually, we're still in the works about, getting that done. But after doing about an hour and a half or so, actually, it was probably just under 2 hours. Um, After we did the show, we talked for another probably good half hour or so. And he said, what do you plan on doing as far as, what are your hopes and dreams and all that? To which I was like, "Hey, man, I'm trying to figure that out as we go." And he said, "Well, I'll tell you what." He goes, "Obviously, we got along very well, and it just kind of clicked." And he said, "I've got another, the studio we were at where he is, we were in his, like the main studio that he uses, and the same building, like basically right next to his office on the other side is another studio." And he said, I got a good feeling about you. I believe in you. What you're doing," he goes, "you're more than welcome to come out here and use the studio." And I mean, you talk about an opportunity that I never expected. And needless to say, since that day, every 6 weeks, myself and OG fly out to New York to my favorite little uh, airport with all four gates. There's just six gates, whatever it is, at White Plain, New York, and we do shows. And not only that, but hey, Tyler, how you doing, my brother? Um, Not only we doing that, but we like I said, start talking a little bit more, and that's this whole point is about opportunity and jumping all over them, man, because you don't know when it may happen again, if it ever will happen again. And know, after one of the shows, he was like, "Listen, like to, let's go to dinner." So it was him, his dad, me, and OG went to dinner to talk business. And, again, it was talking about, what I want to do moving forward and how serious I was about it, which was kind of strange. I didn't see this coming. I was just like, well, I mean, we already talked about it. Hey, Randy. Um, and I told him, I said, "Listen, after doing your show and after talking to you, it really got things moving and it really fired me up even more so. I go, I really want to do this." And I go, "I don't want to just half ass it." I go, you really feel the passion that even though I've never done anything like this before, I've never done a podcast. I never did live shows. I never sat in front of a camera, mic, and did this shit ever. But by the grace of God, man, I felt very comfortable doing it from the very first one. And Ian um, said he kind of caught up. He noticed that. So while we're talking and having dinner, and as we're going forward with this, I noticed him sitting on his phone and he's texting while he's asking me more questions about how serious I was. Um, and at the end of the dinner, I mean, had a great time, met his dad, Michael, and he gives me this phone number and a name, Matt Cronin. He said, listen, he goes, I reached out to, it's like his best friend, Matt, who is, like I said, the producer, editor. And I was telling him about you. And as of now, you got a producer. So I ended up calling Matt. And just like with Ian, me and Matt talked at least an hour on the phone when I got back to the hotel. And just telling him, exactly what we were talking about. And Matt said something that really meant a lot to me. He said, with Ian, um, I told him about how during the show and before the show, talking about wanting to work together, do more. Um, and kind of backtracking a little bit, I said something to him. I said, you know what? I go live all the time. I go, it'd be great for us to do something together. And this is, after the interview, before the dinner. And he's like, yeah, it sounds good. To which afterwards I was like, yeah, okay. He's just being polite. It's the correct thing to say and all that. Didn't know if he meant it or not. Again, I'm just getting to meet this guy. So come back from New York, and it was about a week or so later. He gives me his number. So I figured, you know what? Let's just see what's up. So I call him, and just like anyone else. And I go, what's going on, brother? I said, you want to go live? And he starts laughing. He goes, when? I go, right now. And he started cracking up. He goes, man, he goes, I'm doing my editing right now. He goes, how about Monday? And let's do it. Well, it was kind of funny too, because a certain individual that I met in the past was telling me about Ian and how he doesn't do live shows with anybody. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that, and blah blah blah. So I figured, hey, if you don't ask, the answer is always no. So like I said, I hit him up with that, and sure as shit, the following Monday we go live together and just have a good time. So when I'm talking to Matt for the first time, he goes, "Listen, I got to tell you something." He goes, "You should be pretty excited about this situation that you're in because Ian really doesn't do a lot of lives with anybody. He really doesn't do this, just certain things, because as busy as he is right now, just trying to keep things in order." And he goes, so just the fact that he did that and gave you, his number to kind of keep in touch and do these things. He goes, I noticed that right off the bat because he usually doesn't do that. So Matt's like, I knew that there was something up with you. But then when he said that he was out to dinner with with me and his dad was there, he's like he keeps family separate. So he goes, I knew something was up. So Matt was all in as our producer. And lo and behold, here we are a year later. Krista, how in the hell are you? My cat from Sober Patrol. We got Donald Blow. We got Tyler from Knocking Out Addiction. And of course, OG. It's a little family Sunday party. Cat, we gotta get together, man. It's been a while. So we gotta hook something up. Um, I can see you're kicking ass. I haven't talked to you in a bit. I know you have that issues going on with your neck. So love you, honey, and you're definitely in our thoughts and prayers as far as that goes. So let me know. And for Tyler, the MMA podcaster extraordinaire himself, we still got to do part 2 of our show. And how come I'm sliding all over here? Probably because my dumb ass keeps fidgeting. Everything that I'm told to do, I usually don't. And one thing that I'm learning with these shows is, you want to try to be, you know, in camera, in focus, not a whole lot of moving. Man, I'm all over the place. I agree. Forgot what I was going to say now. But Tyler, we got to get part two going for the show I was on. I was a guest on Tyler show, Knocking Out Addiction. So we will be getting part two soon. Um, I'll have OG, because don't forget, man, I'm not allowed to schedule anything. I'm in scheduling timeout. But OG will get a hold of you, and we will definitely line that up. And Krista, we got to get back together. And plus, I got to talk to you anyways. Like I said, there's a lot going on, and what we could do is jump on, and myself, and I don't know if you hopefully saw my brother Thomas Vestergaard in Denmark and the show we're doing together, My Brother's Keeper, a Bikers podcast. We're actually lining up a bunch of shows as we speak, to do separately, but also to come on and do the shows together. So you get two for one. You're getting a twofer. But so I know I did a lot of rambling about Ian and Matt and everything, and it's all about opportunity, and it's all about desire, and it's all about focus, and these are all things that, as far as me in my past, I could give a shit about. Didn't care at all. Um, it was something that nothing mattered to me as far as my life goes. Um, and now putting things into perspective and the blessings that I've been given, I am not going to screw this up as far as these blown opportunities. Like Eminem says, they come once in a lifetime, man. And I'm definitely going to take advantage of them, just like we all have, just like, Krista, just like with Tyler, Randy, Donald, um, all of us here, we do what we do because we've been very blessed with another chance. And one thing we know is a lot of our family, a lot of our brothers and sisters are not here. And I know for me, uh, I take it very personally when it's to talk about my brother Jerry, my brother Kevin, Porky, the couple of my partners, Pat and Dave in the police department. These are all people that I lost. They're no longer with us. And, part of that is very tough, is basically survivor's remorse. Like, why me? Why me? Why did I make it through this and they didn't? You know, what did I do to deserve this when these people were such good people? And that I don't think I'll ever be able to answer that question except by doing the very best I can do to honor their memory and their name. And I will do that. I will never stop doing that. But so I'm just trying to keep my shit straight. And I spent pretty much most of my life doing coloring outside the lines as much as I could. If there wasn't a line that I wouldn't cross, the saying goes. And for a while there, I thought that that was the best way. I thought that the only rules being my rules were the only ones that counted. And man, couldn't have been more wrong. But just like all of us, I'm human. I'm going to make mistakes. Except now, I learned by them. And like I said, with just seeing your guys' names, seeing your post means so much to me. And it really, really does. I had someone say to me one time about different things, money wise. Um, and this is a business. When when it gets to that point. Some people, like I planned on just doing it as a hobby. Well, now what I really hope in life is this is something that I can do full time eventually. And but I had our family. I tell you what, you guys are amazing. I love you guys. We look out for each other so much. And someone popped up with a question asking why I don't ask, for stars, why I don't ask for, all different financial things. And I just don't, you know. Um, the one thing is when you see, at a certain point, it'll show, who can get stars, who can't, different things. So, if people want to do something great, if not, and I made this comment to me, when I look over to the right of my screen, I see Tyler, Randy, Krista, Donald, all these names who are part of this amazing family. That means more to me than anything because it doesn't matter as far as, financially. If it wasn't for all of us connecting as one family, being there to help each other, it doesn't matter. I mean, because I wouldn't exist. My Fighter War wouldn't exist. My brother's keeper wouldn't exist. None of us would if it wasn't for the love and commitment of each other. And so that's why I do what I do and don't do what I don't do. But you know, that's about it, guys. I just wanted to pop on here real quick. Like I said, I had a little time before going to the gym, and so I figured, what a better way to take care of that than to jump on here and say hi to you guys. And you never know who's going to pop up. But you know what? There's a couple comments on here. I don't want to. Usually, OG sitting over, well, actually, be over there, taking care of this stuff. But she's screwing around at the gym. Tyler, Randy. um, there's what did Tyler have to say? I'm having back-to-back episodes of Knocking Out Addiction this Wednesday and Thursday. You get it, boy. You are doing a great job, Tyler. Keep it up. And man, amazing things are coming your way, man. Let's see. Um, Donald Blow, you're up early. Yep. Well, actually, Donald, it's 7:28 here in Detroit, Michigan. And I've actually been up since about 3:30 ish. There I go, ish. I'll never stop saying ish. And because unfortunately, when I just moving around hurts. So gotta roll over. It's like, shit, time to get up. So, but other than that, yes, it's up. Like my dad said, you're burning daylight, boy. Then we got Krista. I'm great, Manny. Okay. I thought there was okay. What do we got going on here? Krista, I won all 5 court cases for my workman's comp, and my surgery was approved. Now getting medical clearance for surgery. Fantastic. Um, I mean, I'm sorry that you have to have surgery in the first place, but I mean, yeah, I know what you're going through. And well, not for cervical. Knock on wood, I haven't had that. But as far as my back and the plates and the screws and the fusion and all that stuff, and I know as far as symptomology what that feels like. So I'm very happy that things went your way, and you're going to be getting the surgery and taken care of, so you can get back to your style and your living life the way that you want to live, not the way that the symptoms are going to let you live. So great news, Cat. Let's see, Randy. What's Randy got going on here? Randy says, "Be the voice for those we've lost. The hand, the hand for those still suffering. The change for those not born yet." Damn straight, brother. And Randy, just so you know, too, man. I, I s- I see everything. When I'm going through Facebook and I'm going through shows, I'm going through posts, and the stuff that you're doing. I just saw that you were um, dealing with a bunch of bikers, kind of partial to that one, so it caught my eye. And the things that you're doing, and as well as like as Donald, Tyler, Cat. I'm not excluding anybody, but I just want you guys to know that just like you, man, I go through and I see the stuff you're doing. I try to comment and post as much as I can. Um, the one good thing I could say is it's getting harder and harder to post and to reply as much, which is a good thing because that means we're doing something right here at My Fight Our War and at My Brother's Keeper. because we're getting even more comments, more posts, and more views. So thank you guys so much for that. But very well put, Randy. And what Tyler say here? I must say I've truly been blessed with the recovery family that I have. Thank you all so much. Well, I tell you, we all have, and you're right, Tyler. And it just goes to show you something that I've said um, so many times, and that is that the way that we have been blessed, man, and yeah, no one would blame Tyler or Kat or Randy or any of us if we just focused 100% on being sober, happy, took care of us and our family, and didn't help anyone else but ourselves. No one would blame us, man, after taking care of ourselves first and foremost. But that's not what we do, man. When you're dealing with people who are in recovery, next thing you know, man, we're reaching. We're putting our hand out, helping the next person in line. That's just the kind of people we are. And that's why I've said from day one, I am so proud to be part of this elite, just elite fraternity of warriors known as people in recovery because we are badasses, boy. Um, like I said, we could just focus on number one, and there's nothing wrong with that. We don't focus on ourselves first. We're done. It doesn't matter. You want to take care of everyone else, yeah. But until we take care of number one, so yeah, that's you got it, brother. Eric, how you doing, Eric? Hope you have a great day as well. Good to see you. Let's see anyone else. Eric, what do we got? Hold on now. Eric coming up on 4 years sober. Man, congratulations. That is great. We will Kat and Tyler, we got to get something going here. We'll do a show. Just throwing some ideas out there for we'll get a bunch of us. We'll pop on and have a little bit of there goes the voice. Have a little bit of organized chaos, as I love to describe it. And because as you guys hopefully saw, every now and then you'll get these memories pop up. And mine happened to be one of my very first promo I did with Dan and Donna from Hard Knocks. And it was my very first promo. And I absolutely was terrified because I've never done one. And here's Dan. Okay, I'm going to leave the screen, do your promo. He left the screen, and I sat here like this, like that. And he pops back on. He's like, "Any day now." And I was like, "What's a promo?" And he's like, "Oh shit." He goes, "How many shows have you done?" And I go, "Live shows. How have you done?" I'm like, "Counting yours?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "None." So, but I ended up doing the promo, and he goes, "Just talk from the heart," and that's what I did, and it went well. I'm very pleased with it. But when I look at the promo now, um, I'll never forget watching it. And from that day on, I said, I will never script anything. Always talk from the heart and be yourself. And that's something I've lived by. And since I started this podcast, and I've been getting very positive results by it. But one of the things I said is for me, normal was, strapping on my, my 40 cal, then my 9 and a knife in my boot to cause as much chaos as I could. Well, I'm still doing the same thing, and but this time the chaos is focused in a very positive manner and dealing with all of us. So, and again, Eric, congratulations. And well, we got here Tyler. It's going to be a blast. No telling what's going to happen. Well, I tell you what, as I always say, anytime you see my name pop up live, I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know what to expect. And I'm not kidding because there's times where people will do show prep and write down, and there's not, I mean, that's cool. You get down, things you want to discuss. But I've actually done work with a couple of people in the past that had everything scripted to the point where, they wanted me to come on like an hour beforehand, basically do the show. And then once we went live, we were doing the show. But I remember it was when I first started this, and I actually started laughing a few times an inappropriate time because again, just started doing this shit, right? And all of a sudden, the person asking me the questions obviously knew all the answers already because we just covered everything in the pre-show. So he asked me something and I replied, and it was I think it was maybe when I got shot or stabbed or one of the two. And after I said it, he was like, "Oh my god." Oh, and just which you would normally have that reaction to that. But it was just funny to me because, he knew about it. So his acting was very well, but I always said, I don't do that. When we talk before in the green room, it's just bullshit getting to know each other because just like everyone else, when our family tells their story, I want that aha moment, just like you guys do. So when you see me and I get a question and answer going back and forth, and you see me with that more than stupid look that I have, it's legit and it's real. Um, so that's that. Oh, let's see. I think that's it. And it's 7:37, which means I gotta get ready to hit the gym and get the rest of my day going and try to save my voice because I do want to go live again tonight. Later on sometime. I'm not sure on the time because on Sundays, besides gym, church, I'm sorry, besides gym, then breakfast, church, it's time to spend time with mom. And then after that, like I said, OG, we're going to go on. I'm going to guess around 7. No, I'm not gonna guess because I don't really know. So we'll just leave it at that. When you see, Manny Vitale live or whatever it says on there, jump on in and join us because it's always great. Um, it's always great shooting the shit with you guys. And there's OG. The gym is waiting. So, Eric, Tyler, Randy, Donald, um, have a great day, man. Eric, again, congratulations on what you said was, I think you said 4 years. Let me just make sure before I make a complete ass out of myself. Oh, wait a minute. What is this? Krista? Did I it is 4 years. Okay, Krista, prayers for bikers out there. I know from the bike wreck on Memorial Weekend, I'm recovering from and blessed to be alive. That was one of the scariest things I've ever been through. So prayers for bikers. Watch out for bikers. Love y'all. Stay blessed. Kat, I tell you what, you are right. I have been riding for God, 25 plus years. Um, and I remember an old timer one time telling me, uh, he goes, you ride long enough. It's not um, if you're going to go down, it's when you're going to go down. It's like you do something long enough, something's going to happen. And I remember talking to some guys that just started riding. I was working at Harley, and we do a rider safety course that we offer. And there was some. It's always the guys, man. Just like when I used to teach CPL classes, it's always the guys who would come in with their stupid macho comments and stuff like that. Just like at the riding course, man. Some of these guys, well, my riding skills are this, and I'm like, dude, you're in the beginner class. Your riding skills are not existent right now. And the more you ride, the better they'll get. But just remember, like what I tell myself every time I get on my bike is, don't put myself in a position. I ride with the assumption that no one sees me. If I got a car next to me and the guy's staring at me, he don't see me. If there's a guy behind me when I'm coming up to slow down, I'm eyeballing, my mirrors, because I'm under the assumption that no one sees me. And that's the way I got to ride very defensively. And, just you got to be careful. And so, Kat, you're right. And God bless you and all of my fellow brothers and sister bikers out there. And let's stay safe. Lori, how you doing, Lori? Right, right. Like they don't see you. Got it, Kat. Lori, you have a great day as well. And please let's reach out to Lori in Athens, Alabama. Lori is just an amazing person who does everything for everybody, but nothing for Lori. And she puts everyone first and Lori last. Um, Lori has an old broken down van that she takes people to wherever they need to be: church, hospital, recovery, jail. I mean, anywhere anyone needs transportation, Lori is always there without hesitation. Oh, by the way, it doesn't matter how far either. She will drive that broken down van as far as it goes to help people. But yet she, you know, doesn't talk about that stuff. Well, we got to talk about it now because the van took a shit. And, the van is, that's her lifeline, but not so much for herself, for all the people that Lori helps. And without that van, yeah, of course, she needs transportation. But without that van, the amount of people that are put in danger because they're not able to be taken to these places because of the trust that they have in Lori, the safety that they have in Lori. Instead of calling someone else, they may not call just because when you're dealing with addiction, your walls are built up. You guys know that. So please, Lori's got some stuff going on. Go to Lori's site, go to her page, please. Check it out. She'll have the information there because I don't want to have get anything wrong when it comes to what she's got going on. So I'm not going to say anything as far as you know any of the circumstances that or what it is right now. So please just go. You can see it right there. Um, there's Lori's name. Go right to her page, and you'll have the information on there to help her out. Get this taken care of because, like I said, yes, it's about her, getting the transportation, but it's about all of the people that she helps. Lori, thank you, and we love you. And I got to get my ass to the gym. So have a great day, all, and look for us later on tonight because it'd be great to see you guys. And who knows, man? Maybe we'll just be grabbing some emails, some links, and whoever's home, you might just get a link sent to your email. You want to jump on, jump on. Until then, have a great day, man. Enjoy every blessing, enjoy every day. Every time, man, every morning you wake up, you see that ceiling above you. It's our chance to shine. So, like I said, don't let anything affect your day. Don't let anyone's negative words, negative comments affect your day. It's our time. Love you guys. Keep fighting a good fight.